So we're off on a short ride today, just to the other side of these Lancs, so Wigan. Going to a place called Northwest Powersports. I want to have a look at the bike. Beautiful day, 16, 17 degrees, very warm in the sunshine. Just messing around with the settings. I saw a post asking what people think of eco mode. I kind of laughed it off. I was like, well, there's absolutely no point in this bike having modes, it's not got enough power. Actually, I've just stuck it in eco mode, and the first thing I've noticed straight away is the low speed fueling is much better. So, I'm going to Northwest Powersports. Because I want to have a look at, and you have to forgive the pronunciation because I'm not 100% sure, a Husqvarna Norden, so 901. I'm in the market for a new bike, because what I did was I sold my last big bike, and actually just bought this one thinking it'd be a bit of fun in the interim, so a commuter, bit of weekend riding, nothing too serious. But actually it's really blown me away. This bike is so good that it's actually making me question moving to anything else. So looks at the S1000 XR. I think that's actually quite an impressive bike. I like things like the I love the look of the Ducati's Desert X, but didn't do it for me when I rode it. The Multistrada, don't like the look of so much, but is a much nicer bike to ride. I may have to try and get a test ride on the new V2, because I certainly can't afford one of the V4s. That's a very pricey bike. So yeah, I wasn't really sure what to look at. I like the idea of the 1290 Adventure, the KTM, but it is a very big bike. So one thing I do really like the sound of, I think it looks nice and aggressive, even slightly tempted with the DCT, having tried one out on the stand at the NEC. I would certainly go and ride one. Is the Honda Africa Twin. Not the Adventure Sports, but the standard one. I think it looks really nice. And with that DCT, you can still get a foot shifter. So it's not connected to anything, it's just a button, but to me that makes it enough like a quick shifter that I could be happy with that, I think. So that's number one on the list. Then I started looking around. I looked at the Triumph 900. I like the look of the Rally one better than the GT, so it kind of doesn't make any sense for me because I don't go off-road. The local KTM dealer was trying to encourage me towards the 790. Has some style, just probably not to my taste, but that's where the Husqvarna comes in. So obviously seen Runa riding one, and off she goes, and more looked at it, although actually it's a lovely looking bike. It's definitely more suited to my ploddy nature, but it's still got enough go and enough excitement there to keep me happy. So that's still plan A. Get a big adventure bike and have a single bike garage. plan B is get the big adventure bike, but keep this one as well. So could go for something huge like the 1290 Super Adventure, use that for more distance work, and then keep this as the local use bike, the kind of the daily, if you like. And that's very tempting. But then of course I started thinking, when I rode this, I also rode the shotgun, and now I'm looking at the shotgun and looking at the bear going, do I even need a big bike? Do I just get something a bit more fun, have this as a practical bike, and then have a fun bike, even maybe a classic, you know, so something else to ride. Not a need at all, but definitely just a toy to play with. So that's plan C, you know, fill the garage with Royal Enfields, or maybe a BSA scrambler, or anyway, too much choice I think is the baseline problem. I don't know what I want, so I need to ride some bikes. So a nice predicament to have. And went into Millennium in St Helens last weekend, and I know they're putting their Bear 650 in the black and grey with the gold forks. That's going to be their demonstrator. I think it was live this week, so I think that may have to be tested. I may have to get back on the shotgun again. But ultimately, there's no bad choices there. Hello over Heart says, get the Africa Twin, get the DCT box, and either keep this or don't keep this, and maybe change this for a shotgun, I don't know, have a second bike still. But there's something quite appealing about this Husqvarna. So let's go and have a look at it. I'm not sat on one, not riding it today, just want to have a look over it, try and swing a leg over it and see what it feels like, and then maybe we'll take it for a ride at some point. Anyway, what bikes am I missing in that list? What else should I be considering? What do you have and you recommend? I really don't mind whether it's brand new, nearly new, a few years old. I've never been up here before. Didn't even know this place existed. I was looking through the website to find where the local dealer is, because I wasn't sure. It's really not far, it's only 12-15 miles away. It's not a place I've ever heard of. But it's not a bad ride actually, quite nice coming up this way. Once you're through St Helens anyway. First bit of proper tarmac, it's a 30 mile an hour. there is, never trust a sat-nav. Looked like a straight road. The junction appeared pretty quickly. Good test of the brakes, and this has definitely got plenty. Might only be a single rotor on the front, but it's got a decent sized rotor on the back as well. It yeah, does bite quite nicely. Yeah, that low speed fueling is definitely better than eco mode. So that was a worthwhile trip. They had not just one Norden, but they had three in there. They had the demonstrator ready to go in the Expedition version. They had a brand new Expedition, and they had one of the grey and yellow base models. So very kindly moved everything out of the way. Let me swing a leg over. A guy called Ian, the sales manager there. Very well stocked, as you'll see from the video I'll add on. Lots of toys in there. But yeah, felt very nice, as much as you can tell without riding it. But yeah, it looks lovely. Very big bike. As I say, I'm 6'3" and actually just within the tolerance for me swinging a leg over that. Right, go back for a test ride. He's given me his card. I'll sort something out for a weekday, but I have to think about when, because he very kindly said their test rides are 4 hours long, which is something I've never experienced so far. I've had Triumph said, yeah, a couple of hours, no more than that. Royal Enfield, well, it's a whole different story with the Royal Enfield dealer for me. Don't entirely blame the guy I was dealing with, because it was foisted upon him because somebody else wasn't working when they should be. But he basically said half an hour and then come back. Didn't really want to let me ride the second bike. He just wanted me to ride one. It wasn't the friendliest way. It certainly put me off a little bit, although I've spoken to a different person there since and about the bear, and it was a very different experience. So hopefully he's got the guy on a bad day, but not great. However, yeah, totally different there. Northwest Powersports, very well stocked little place. Lovely ride getting up here. 4 hour test rides, and he's kind of openly saying we're a no pressure place, you know. Take it out, we'll give you the numbers, go away, see what you think about it, and give us a shout. We're not going to pester you. You come back and tell us what you think. So what he said, they're doing very well with their sales numbers, so I can understand why they like that. But equally, that could be why their sales numbers are so high, because who wants to feel pressured after you've taken a test ride? You want to go away and think about it, and probably, let's face it, certainly in my case, is test some more as well. I'm just riding one bike and making a decision. But yeah, the Norden seat felt nice, position felt nice. They also deal with the CF motor there as well, which was interesting to see because I hadn't seen one of their 450s in the flesh. I think I definitely prefer the Enfield. Looking at it, just from aesthetics, it looks a bit. It looks like a bigger bike. In fairness, the 450 MT does looks like a chunky beast. However, for me, looks a bit generic. Modern common bike. I definitely prefer something with a bit more classic styling, round headlamp, etc. I think that's why you can see 450 Himalayan and then the Norden. So yeah, I'm heading that way. Although I do really like the Africa Twin. That looks really nice and aggressive. Something about that. But yeah, sorry. I digress. The display. So the display on the 800 is huge. The MT800 has got kind of iPad for a display screen, yet the Norden actually has a very little screen. But I reserve judgment because it doesn't really matter. If it's functional, it's great. As long as I can see the speed clearly, see everything I need to see, control everything I need to control, and the rest of it's just vanity, isn't it? And this thing is great. I mean, this I know some people don't like it, they prefer clocks, and yes, I understand that. I think Triumph have definitely missed a beat when they've done things like taking the Speed Twin, taking those beautiful dual clocks off them and put quite a low rent looking split TFT and LCD on it. That definitely, to my eyes, doesn't look right. But this Royal Enfield one, I think they've done a very nice job in designing. It's basic. It's not winning any awards for resolution or functionality, but it's got everything you need on it. Nice and clear for the speedo. The rev counter's lovely. So yeah, rev counter's lovely. Fuel gauge lies, but you know, it's good enough. Tells me if it's wet or not. Everything from there onwards I can work out with the trip computer. Yeah, just think they've done a very nice design job, and it's a shame that some of the more premium ones go for something that looks like, I said, picking on Triumph again, but something that looks quite low rent. So I'd be interested to see the KTM, I suppose it's KTM really, with the Husqvarna's little 5-inch screen, and see what that looks like. But definitely, I mean, putting that back to back with the 790 I looked at last week. In fact, I go and look at it again. Really no contest in terms of which one I prefer. Yeah, so I look forward to going back and riding that one. That was optimism at its finest. I just tried to pull away in third gear. Definitely not paying attention. Anyway, heading back into Warrington now. And that's me done. Decide where to go tomorrow, I think. But yeah, if you're watching this, keen to know your thoughts. What do you think of the Husky? What would you be looking at instead? And yeah, thank you very much if you have watched it, or endured, should I say, my ramblings. Bye for now.